This conference will now be recorded.
సురేష్ గారు ఒకసారి భీమేశ్వర్, రాకేష్ అండ్ రాహుల్ ఒకసారి కనుక్కుంటారా? హలో.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yes, Kirti.
Okay. So on the other day we have seen. Okay. On the other day we have seen some small functions in DataWeave, what we can perform, and how concatenation of arrays, objects, all we have seen. So today we will see some of the most important functions which we will be using. Like so these are the mostly used functions. So as I mentioned yesterday, sorry, on the last day, right? So this we will see how to use them, and later we can proceed for interview questions and resume building. Let's see what is this. So here we are having multiple things to cover. The first one, before going forward, so is everyone okay with map function? So we have been using from the beginning of the class, like how to use the map function, how we are doing. Like let's say, let me show you. We were doing like this: payload of map item comma index, and then like this. So we used to do, so whenever we used to drag and drop when we used to map the functions, like when we used to map the arrays, it will be coming automatically. This syntax will be coming automatically. Anyone has any questions here?
Yeah, Kirti. Myself, Karthik.
Okay, Karthik.
I cannot see the preview here.
Is it for that preview? For preview, right, you have to load the metadata first, then you can
Yeah,
see the preview.
when I'm loading the metadata, trying to preview, it is showing two issues found and invalid E. I mean, something like that is coming at the output payload. When I have cleared edited the metadata using CSV, it's showing like preview. Yeah, right now you have right create required sample data to execute. Like that I am
Like that you
getting.
are coming. Okay.
Yeah.
So for that, what we need to do is we simply need to load the inbound data here, Karthik. So when I load this one, let's say I'm loading this one JSON type, and
Yes,
I'm giving
yes.
select.
Yeah, this example
So it
we
will
have
come.
already used it to fetch example,
Yes, yes.
right?
Yeah, you can use any example for your wish. You can keep any of the things as you wish. You can do it and you can check it.
I got these characters, employee ID, status at the metadata, inbound metadata, but I cannot preview the output.
But why is that one? See here, I'm getting this one. So when we load this metadata and do some mapping here, then it will come. So simply what I just did is I have loaded the inbound metadata and I'm simply hard coding it just to see here. Okay, I'm getting in the preview. So if I change this one to JSON, it will come. If at all you are still not able to do, I think there might be some updates available for you in Anypoint Studio. For
Yeah, it is
map
showing to
function,
update.
yeah, it will, whenever you open Anypoint Studio, right, one some pop-up will be coming on the right side, updates available. Just
Yeah.
update it and try to do this again.
Okay, okay. I too thought that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'll just give some example for map, just for everyone's purpose. So how do we do generally map is map generally this function is used for mapping from an array to get the elements from array. So what it will do is whatever we are giving in before map function. So how to use map function is map function for which array you are mapping. I'm giving payload. In my payload, I am having this entire array payload map, and I will give I can give item. This is just like we can keep anything item value. So if I keep item comma value, it will take value anything. You can give any one here. You can give like a v. You can give anything. You can give here. It's your wish. And simply you need to do this one. Open and close brackets. So now what it is showing? It is mapping, but we did not give, since we did not give anything here, it is simply showing empty objects. If I want to give like id colon, and what do I want from payload? I want iteratively, I want employee underscore id. So instead of using payload.id, I will use now k.id. K dot, it will come automatically, see id. So here we are reading from an array and we are one second. I see that Bhimeshwar and those three guys are unable to attend the class, but this is very important. And సురేష్ గారు ఒకసారి వాళ్ళకి ఈవినింగ్ ఏమైనా అవైలబుల్ ఉంటుందేమో కనుక్కోండి. అట్లే కార్తిక్ అండ్ దేవానంద్ మీరు ఈవినింగ్ 1 hour అవైలబుల్ ఉంటారా ఈరోజు?
Yeah, Kirti, no problem. At what time do you think that?
యా నేను అనుకోవడం జస్ట్ మేబీ అలా 5 or 6 o'clock కి. నేను ఏమనుకుంటున్నా అంటే యాక్చువల్లీ మ్యాప్ ఫంక్షన్స్ ఈరోజు మార్నింగ్ అయిపోగొట్టేసి బై టుడే ఓన్లీ వీ కెన్ ఎండ్ ఆల్ అవర్ సెషన్స్ బై టేకింగ్ రెజ్యూమే బిల్డింగ్ అండ్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్వశ్చన్స్. ఫ్రమ్ టుమారో ఐ విల్ బి వెరీ బిజీ. సో ఈరోజు మీకు ఈవినింగ్ ఒక 1.5 hour మీరు అవైలబుల్గా ఉంటారంటే వీ విల్ సీ రెజ్యూమే బిల్డింగ్ అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్వశ్చన్స్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైమ్. 1.5 hour 2 hours ఎనీథింగ్ ఈస్ ఫైన్ ఫర్ మీ, బట్ మీరు అవైలబుల్గా ఉంటేనే.
Okay, no problem for me then.
Yeah, so instead of extending days, I thought today only we can complete entire sections. Okay, Devanand, okay. Karthik, మీకు ఓకేనా అండి?
Yeah, okay, Kirti.
Okay.
హలో
సురేష్, యా సురేష్.
హలో అతను భీమేశ్వర్ క్లయింట్ కాల్ లో ఉన్నాడు మేడం. ఇంకొక అతను బయట ఉన్నాడు, అటెండ్ కాలేకపోతున్నాడు. ఒక అతను నాట్ లిఫ్టింగ్ కాల్. నేను ఈవినింగ్ వరకు అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను, గ్రూప్ లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టి అప్డేట్ చేస్తాను మీకు టైమింగ్స్.
యా నేను ఈవినింగ్ ఒక 1.5 hour 2 hours అయినా పర్లేదు, సెషన్ అయిపోకూడదాం అనుకుంటున్నాను. సో వాళ్ళకి ఈ విషయం కన్వే చేసేయండి.
ఓకే ఓకే. ఏ టైంలో ఫ్రీ ఉంటారు మేడం ఈవినింగ్?
ఐఎమ్ థింకింగ్ మోస్ట్లీ బై 5 o'clock, 5 to 6:30, 7.
ఓకే, ఐ విల్ అప్డేట్ ఇన్ గ్రూప్ మేడం. ఓకే మేడం.
ఓకే, 5 o'clock తీసుకుందాం ఈరోజు ఈవినింగ్. సో వాళ్ళు మ్యాండేటరీగా అటెండ్ అయితే మనం వీ కెన్ కంప్లీట్ ది సెషన్స్ టుడే. ఈ మ్యాప్ ఫంక్షన్స్ కావాలంటే రికార్డెడ్ వీడియో దే కెన్ సీ.
ఓకే ఓకే మేడం.
ఓకే ఓకే, లెట్స్ కంటిన్యూ. సో హియర్ this is the main use of map. What we do in map, generally we will iterate through the array whatever we give before map, right? We iterate through the array and we will perform the functions. If at all, so no need of giving, suppose generally what we do is if you don't use map, how it will come? Let me show you. It will come suppose I want to give a equals to payload dot, I will give empty id. See how it is coming. In a, all the empty IDs are coming. If I want to give, suppose b equals to payload dot emp name, it means it is giving all the employee names in b. But This, if at all you want like this, you can go ahead. But based on the requirement, if you want to iterate through each object in this array and you want to have some structured element, then you can go for map. So simply give payload map. You can give some key, comma. You can give value like this. Anything you can keep here. Open bracket, close bracket. And instead of using payload.id, I will use from in map, inside the map, we have to give, instead of, now k is our payload, we have to assume like this. So I will give a equals to, I will give instead of id equals to k dot emp id. It is showing error because we have to, if I have given this brackets, right, we have to assign it to something like data colon. See, inside data, we are getting an array of objects of id. Okay, this is the main use of map. So there are multiple functions which we can use, and there is one more called as filter. So I think I have already shown you why we use filter. Generally, we use filter for filtering in the array. So let me remove this. Let's see in using variables. So on the other day we have seen how to use variables, where I will give elements equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. And if I want like payload dot, not payload dot, I will give elements dot. If I iterate through elements, how I will get, I will see elements or elements dot. Let's see the syntax once. Here we have in the operators we have multiple syntaxes. Just go here and check the syntax, because we can't remember every syntax, right? Yeah, see here they're also giving some example, like they are doing filtering based on the this value. Suppose they want to, what here they are doing is they are checking, they're filtering the values from array who are, I mean, which values are greater than 2. So what they are doing, let me copy this and let me show you. What does this mean? In this array, filter of value comma index, where value means from same in our map function we use here the first element as the payload, right? Here also it is telling value is greater than 2, means in the element, in these elements whose value is greater than 2, that filter is coming applying. If you want to apply like where index means you want to get the elements from, suppose let's say you want to get index from here, you want to get 3, 4, 5. So instead of giving value, you can give index. Index is greater than 2. Sorry, so if we give 2 means the index generally starts from 0. 0 index is this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are telling index is greater than 2 means 0, 1, 2. So until here the index is 2. That is why it is filtering and it is giving only 4, 5. Okay, so in this case, generally, suppose if you want in any functions, if you want to filter based on this one, based on any condition, you can give in this way. So all these are functions which we generally use based on the requirements. So no need to remember the syntax at all. Just you can go and check in the operators list and you can verify syntax, and based on requirements you can use them. And there are many, so among them these are the important. Filter is important, and then again we have something called as flatten. So what flatten will do is it will combine all the arrays and it will give you one array. So if you see here, they are giving example. They are having one array with 1, 2, 3, array 2, 4, 5, 6, and array 3, 7, 8, 9. So array of arrays means, so let's take this example and let's see how it is coming. Without flatten and with flatten, we will see how it will work. Let me take this one. So I want to give flatten. So if you see here, what they are doing in array 1, they have one array. Array 2, they have one array. And array 3, they have one array. And in array of arrays, they are taking one more variable where they are concatenating. I mean, they're just keeping these 3 arrays in one more array. So if we just print this variable, what we are getting? One array in which 3 arrays are coming. This is fine, but if you want to have it in a, not in this 3 arrays way, but you want to have it in a generalized way, then you can go for flatten function. So if we use flatten, what will happen is entire thing will come as in one single array. See, it means it is flattening the entire array and giving you in a single array format. Okay, this is also one of the most used function which we generally use based on the requirement. And we have something called as group by, split by. So split by we have seen on the earlier day. So like whenever you want to do any splitting using comma or something, let's take where string element equals to, I will give 1, okay, 2, 3, 44, 55. And if you want to split this string and you want to get an array of these elements using split by this delimiter, you can give it. So how we will do it, let us see. I will just insert this into A and I will do comma split example, and we cannot give in this way, we have to give, yeah. Okay, just check for the split by, and yeah, that's all. So they are doing split by. So here we can do, what is the element you want to do? String element, right? String element split by, and what is the character which you want to split using? So I can give comma. So it is coming in an array format. Suppose let's say you don't want to give using comma, you want to give under some, suppose you are having slashes here. See, when I give slash, what it is giving? I'm splitting by comma. So if you see here, it is coming this as one element and the other rest as individual elements. And if at all I don't want to give comma, but I want to give this one as this one. So here you can see it will consider this as first element and the rest of the things it will consider as the second element, because we are splitting using this symbol. So it depends on the symbol from string which element you want to split. And then we have something called as group by. So group by is also used generally, but not as famous as split by. Again, what are the functions we use, that entirely depends on the requirement. It differs from each project and project, each use case it differs. So if you see here what it is doing, we can group the elements based on index or based on item. Means what it is saying is, let's take one more example. Yeah, here they're doing, we have an array which consists 3 objects. Name equals to foo, language equals to Java. Name equals to something, language equals to, so like this we have 3 elements and we want to group by this element, like which all the names have Java, which all the names have language Scala. So for that what they are doing is my array. So this array they are taking and group by item, where item dot language. So based on this language they are grouping it. So what will be the output, expected output? This is the expected output. They will be saying like under Scala these are the objects present, under Java these are the objects present. It will give us output like this. Okay, this is generally used for grouping the objects. So the name only will understand, by name only we can understand. If at all you want to group it using name, like for foo and what are all the language present, let's see that example. I will give this one. I will take I will just take this one, array. Okay, and I will take this one, group by item dot line, group by example. So they are getting from group by example, it is grouping using language, because I have given here item dot language. If I want to group by using name, I will remove this one and I will say name. So it is telling for foo name, this is the element. These are the present. For bar, it is this one. For foo bar, it is this one. So if I give here, instead of this one, I will give Kirti 1, Kirti. So now how it is coming? For Kirti name, these are the records present. So it is grouping by name. For 1, these are the records present. And if I add one more element like salary, I will give this one salary. I will give 100, and I will just keep this one here. 100, salary 100, and I will I will give for few 200. Now in some use cases, what you want is you want to see what are all the records have what are all the who are all the employees having salary 200 and who are all the employees having salary 100. So for that, what you can do is grouping by item dot salary. So if you see here, it will come in this way. For 100, these are all the employees having the salary 100. And you can say for 200, these are all the employees having salary 200. So generally we use this way for grouping by. Okay, any questions?
No, Kirti.
Yeah. And we have something called as group by. We have seen split by, and let's see reduce. Reduce is generally used for accumulation of data. So what do you mean by accumulation? Let's see the example they have given. Reduce. So this operators, whatever they have given, Mule documentation is very helpful. By reading this only, we can understand. No need to struggle here. So whatever you want, you can come and check in this page for in Mule documentation. It will be explaining very clearly. So here what we can see is reduce. It accumulates the value. Means suppose we are having an array with 2 elements, it will accumulate. So when we do dollar plus dollar dollar, what it will do is it will add the value 2 plus 3. Let's see what it is happening. Let's take this one and let's take reduce example. Reduce ex equals to. So what it does is it is accumulating the value. So if I have some more values like here 4, 5, 6. Now let's see. It is giving 20. How it is giving? Whenever we say dollar plus dollar dollar, this is the syntax generally we use in reduce. Whenever we say dollar plus dollar dollar, what it will do is first time how it will execute is dollar means 2. Dollar dollar means next element 3. 2 plus 3. Answer is 5. Then again it will perform this one until the end of the array. So again what will be the first value for dollar? It will be 5. So until this one it will be 5. 5 plus 4. It will add 9. Then again until here the value is accumulated. 9 values accumulated. Then again what it will do? 9 plus 5. It will do 14. Like this. Again this value is accumulated. 14 plus 6. 20. So after 20, is there any elements present in array? No. So it will simply result as value as 20. Okay. Then generally this is used for accumulation of data in this one, in an array. Suppose if you want to do, let's take this one. If I give this one here plus, see here, generally plus means it is generally used for string concatenation. Only plus means, as I mentioned earlier, only plus means it is for arithmetic operation. It will do a sum, mathematical sum. If I give plus, it will do string concatenation, where it is going to give me the string. So it is giving 6 plus 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So it is giving in this way. So suppose if I want, okay, in this one, give this one here. So let's see here. See, 65432 KEE. So if you want to accumulate any values, you can use reduce. So here they will give multiple examples. Like see here, they are doing sum and they are doing concatenate using plus plus, and they are using arrays. Okay, they will give you a neat explanation also why you can do it and what places you can do it and all. Just go through this documentation. They will give you multiple examples to understand. Because any developer will not be able to use all of this in their experience. It depends on the projects, and we don't need to require any remembering of the syntaxes as well. Okay, Karthik, do you have any questions? Hello?
No, Kirti, no.
Okay, I see your mic was on, so I thought. Okay. In the similar way, we have join by. So what is join by? It will join using a key value. So let's see. Suppose if you want join by and split by are literally, I mean, it is related. So if you see here in split by, what we are doing, we are splitting using a symbol which gets from string. It is returning an array. So let's see where is our example, split example. Oh yeah, in this one. So I will just remove this one. Karthik, did you ping? Okay, you ping something. Yeah. Is this a practice website, Karthik?
Yeah, for the operations you are saying like DataWeave language.
Okay, okay. So instead of using in transfer message, acha, okay, this is online one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this resolves your problem as well, Karthik. If you don't see your preview, maybe you can practice here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm mentioning split by, what it does is from a string, it will give us an array. See, it is giving us an array. Join by is reverse. From an array, we can get the string. Suppose I'm having an array. Let's take where names equals to, I will give it 1, IT. I'm having these 3 elements in my array. If I want to join this one using any symbol or using any delimiter, what I can do is I can use join by. Let's take join by example. I will take names, join by, I will give dash, or I will give colon. So here I will get Kirti colon 1 IT 1 colon IT. So this is reverse of split by. Split by will generally take the string and it will give arrays on output. Whereas join by, it is reverse. It will take the arrays input and it will give us string. In this way. Okay, so these are very simple to understand and very easy to practice also. So please go ahead and practice. So these are, once you observe, so these are all the predefined functions. So what if you want to write your own function and you want to use it in your transfer message? So we can write our own functions, user defined functions using this syntax. What you need to do is simply in the above, like before this dotted lines, you can simply write fun. Fun means function. We are declaring a function and you can do anything here. Suppose I want my function here x equal my function. Let's take this is my function, and what it will do is it will just print me hello. Okay, let's take this one. Okay, it will print me hello. If I want to call this function, I will just give in this one, just I will give the name like my function result equals to, I will call my function. See my function result. Okay, it's not coming. Let me give some input here. Param1 I will give, and I will print this param1, and I will give. Okay. Oh, why it is not giving this? Take this example. Let's see the syntax. I think. Okay. So this should come here. Okay. So it is giving like this. Plus means arithmetic operator, right? That's why it was not giving. Plus means we have to concatenate strings. So here it is getting my function result. In my function result, what I'm doing, hello Kirti. Whatever I give here, it will print. Let me use here. So if I want to give, it will give this one. In the similar way, you can do anything. Like suppose if you want to do any arithmetic operations, just here you need to change this one. So instead of this one, suppose you want your function to perform any arithmetic operations, like you want to add for whatever element you want to give. You can give this one. Instead of giving here, I will give 10 here. See, my function result is 15. 10 is my input parameter. I am passing this input parameter to this function, and this function is adding 5 to it. Suppose this user defined functions are useful. Suppose whenever you want to do any type of operation, multiple, like you have 20 to 30 fields, and for all the fields you want to do something like this. So no need of doing all the operations. Just write your function here and call it. That's all. Okay, let's say some many use case, like you are getting some salaries from employees, and for few of the employees you want to give the bonus like 5%. At the time, what you can do, you can write a function and add that function for all the employees. No need of doing everything at a time, repeatedly. So all these are just for our utility purpose. This will make our lives easy. And then, so we have seen the user-defined functions. We have predefined functions, and this is also one of the important thing which we use, if else. So in generally, what we have seen until now is, if at all you want any conditions, what we were trying to do, keep a choice, and we were giving some conditions there. Did anyone have any questions? I heard something.
No, I'm just saying we use a choice.
Yes, correct. So we were using choice, and here we were keeping if condition. But it will not be useful whenever, suppose, let's say you're having multiple conditions, and you want to check multiple for, let's say you're having 20 fields and you want to check for 20 fields. We cannot keep 20 choices, right? So instead of that one, Mule has given one option where we can write our if else conditions in our transfer message only. So let me show you this one. Oh, is this the one? I don't think this is the one which we're doing. Yeah. So here I can write my if else also. Suppose if I give, I have gathered one example here. Suppose, see, this is very simple example. If I'll give if else example, that's all. First we have to write the condition. If in general programming language we write, right? This is very simple in that way only. If I'm giving the condition, if it is true, I'm printing true. And if it is false, I'm printing false. So if I see my preview here, let me, okay, no problem. Here I can see if else example, it is giving false because this condition is not true. Okay, suppose if I want to give any string here, I will say the value is not 55. Sorry, this is true condition, right? I will give is 55 and I will give this one, the value is not 55. So if I see here, it is giving the value is not 55 because it is evaluating this condition. Suppose if I give here 54, then what happens? This condition is true. So this will execute this statement. It will give the value is 55. You can not only do string operations or anything, you can do any other operations. Suppose you were saying like this use cases may apply like if at all the experience of the employee is greater than 5 years, then give them like 10% hike. So if at all the if at all if else, don't give the hike. So for that, what you can take, if and you can check the experience of the employee here is greater than 5, then add the logic for bonus. Otherwise, don't add it. You can simply say, you can simply keep blank also here. See, and if at all you want to like check some we have seen some other validation functions. We have is empty, is even, is integer. So suppose if I want to check is empty, I will do is empty of, let me give this one. So I will say is empty. If it is true, I will print the value is empty. Else the value is not empty. So let's see, it is saying the value is empty. If I give here something else, it will now say the value is not empty. So in this way also, you can perform if else conditions, if else in your map function, that is DataWeave language. We can have else if also here. Suppose I'm saying if it is empty, this one, right? And let me take one value. Instead of this one, I will give if I will give let's take, I will have one variable called as where experience equals to, I will give 10, and I will say if experience is greater than 20, then I will say I will give architect. Else if experience is greater than 10 means I will give senior developer. Else if these two are also let me give here. Else I will give, if those two are also not true, then I will give developer. So let's see, some error is coming here. Error. Let me give this one in this one. Let me give this in a bracket way, or let me just give this in single statement. See, since I have given 10, let me give 11. 11 means it is giving senior developer. I will give 21 architect, and I will give 4 developer. So here we can write if, else if, and else also. In this else if way, you can keep multiple else ifs. You can keep any else, how many number of else if you want, you can keep. There is no limit. Okay, any questions so far?
No, Kirti, for me.
Okay. Karthik, do you have any questions?
No, Kirti. Today, Devan, Bhimeshwar said he cannot join in the evening in the WhatsApp group.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Kirti, not able to join any ad hoc classes, it seems.
He cannot join any?
Sudden classes like
We
that.
have some.
Okay, okay. It's fine. Okay, then let's connect tomorrow only. Then I thought of completing today, but it's okay, fine. No issues. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, Kirti,
Let's
could
take.
you please confirm, yeah, as per the course components, could you please confirm what are the pending topics?
Yeah, mostly the development is completed, Karthik. If you have any questions, we can see. And we have only DataWeave functions, DataWeave operations we have seen already, and the design. So let me go back to this one. So what we have covered, I will mention you. We have seen designing. So that for that we have seen RAML and all. So then we have seen development. For this one you understood, right? For building we have seen what are things you can do, and then for deployment we have seen how we can deploy, and in runtime manager we have seen, right, runtime manager and all, and then how to manage. So we have applied policies and whatnot. We have applied client security, basic authentication, and rate time limiting. Everything we have seen there, and some of the important topics like error handling. So that everything has been covered here. We have seen error handling. We have seen, and most importantly, we have seen the endpoints. So we have seen multiple endpoints: FTP,
Salesforce.
Salesforce, and what we have covered, the REST APIs, how to invoke other REST APIs, how to invoke, yes, SOAP APIs, how to expose REST and SOAP APIs. These both we have seen, REST and SOAP, and yeah. So these are the mostly for any, as you are keeping 2 to 3 years experience, right, for any interviews.
Yeah.
These are the most probably they will be asking. So but they cannot expect more from 2 to 3 years experience, guys, because in any, that too, in any if any guy from MNC, like if you contact any developer from MNCs, right, they won't be having this much also. They'll be just working on 1 or 2 connectors, and we have seen
Okay,
a lot
mostly
here.
SF is the mostly used connector.
Yes, SF and D database,
Salesforce and DB.
and
Okay,
yeah. So mostly, I would say mostly all of them are mostly used.
Okay, I have seen a point, pass messages between flows using Java Virtual Machine Transport. Is that pending or can we skip that?
Okay, you are selling JMS, right? Java Messaging Service.
Java Virtual Machine Transport. I think
Okay,
JMS is completed.
Yeah, that all comes under very high level context. So that will come under architect level. So we are doing in a developing level, right? So they will come in an architect level where high level questions will be asked. So in basically for developers, they won't be asking all these questions.
Okay. My doubt is because it was included in the course contents, I'm just asking.
Yeah, that course content that was for Mule 3 actually, that was not updated by Shiva. So Mule 4 we have all these ones.
Okay. Okay.
And Devanand, you had some question?
Yeah, Kirti. So generally on real-time experience for a developer, the maximum which endpoint they generally use in real time?
In real time, it depends on project, Devanand. So mostly, suppose if entirely we cannot comment on it. So if at all the client comes and they want integrations between FTP and REST APIs, we can do it. So based on the requirements, we should be in a position where we can understand how to configure. Suppose any new connector is they are giving and we are not aware of it, but you should be in a position that you can understand how to configure it. So that is the main agenda. So if we are learning only this one, it is not that you have to work only with this one, and if at all any new connector comes, you should not be confused, right? Basically entire things comes from practice only. So if you keep on practicing and if you are in any project, you should give them confidence that even if any new thing comes, you can learn very quickly and you can configure it. That is the main thing. Any companies, right, any companies, they won't be looking for you all know, right? So they won't be looking for the experience, but they'll be looking for the attitude as well. So if you are able to learn quickly, then it should be fine.
Yeah.
And you also know, right, in software, we cannot keep one technology and we cannot survive for many years. Maybe we can survive for 4 to 5 years, and then again we have to learn new technology. So it's a continuous process. Learning is a continuous process. We have to keep on learning.
Yeah, Kirti, that's correct.
Yeah. So I would say you understood, you are familiar with Mule now, and you can, if at all you are, if let's say we have not covered NetSuite now, because that is not an open source one. We have to buy it NetSuite. Okay, suppose how to, if at all the client comes and if you want, they will say that how do you configure NetSuite? I mean, not in interview, but if you get into a project and you are given to do some operations on NetSuite, so you will, what generally you will do based on our requirement, our entire learning session. First you will ask, what is the operation you want to perform? So they will say they want to create or they want to do. So before sessions when we don't know how to do this one, but here if you come here, you'll search for NetSuite all the operations, and you can, based on understanding, you can keep like upsert record something, you will get some understanding, right? So you can just try and do it, like you can drag and drop. Let me show you
Yeah, Kirti.
upsert. So if I do upsert record, so here you'll see, and what you'll do here, you'll simply just go for the configuration, and while configuration you'll see you will see some of this one, and by seeing only you'll understand that you will require these values. You will simply go ahead and ask, provide me these values so that I can configure. They will configure. So this is not our responsibility to take these values, right? In our learning session, since we are developing by our own, we have been taking these values. But in coming to client projects, they will be giving you this. You will simply configure it. And then what you will do, what type of object? So in Salesforce, we have seen our account type and object type. Here also we'll have record type. Which record type they want to give. That's all. So you should be in a position where if at all any connector comes which you are not aware of, you should be able to configure it. And if you don't understand, you should be in a position where you can understand through documentation. That is fine enough.
Okay, Kirti, understood.
Yeah. And also we have seen, I almost forgot, we have seen the project architecture structure. Like I have explained in one section where whenever we are loading from RAML, we are automatically a project will be created. What will be in SRC main resources and what will be in SRC main Java. I mentioned that we will have some Java classes we can use. What are all these objects? What will have in artifact.json? What will have in form.xml? All this we have seen. So how the architecture of the project will be there. We have seen all these things.
Yes.
So based on all this information, we have to build a resume and we have to explain the interviewer that we have done this one in any projects, and we have to be in a position where we can face few questions at least in interviews.
Okay, Kirti.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kirti, is certification mandatory for this course?
It is not mandatory, but it will add value to your resume, that I can say, because in a current market, right, if any developer is there, even though without certification, you may get interview calls and you may get the offer letters, but if you have certification, it will add value. So suppose let's say there are two candidates, one is with certification, one is without certification, they go for with certification candidates, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
while
so I thought,
practicing, I have a doubt.
okay,
Yeah. Can I continue?
sure, tell me.
Okay. If we have 10 records and we need to insert into database, already I found that already 3 records were in the database. And so I don't want to uh, add them again like duplicates. I need to prevent the duplicate and add the remaining 7 objects. How it will be possible?
So there can be multiple things that depends on the requirement. Okay.
Upsert.
So suppose in this case, yeah. So basically we can do in database we do not have upsert, right? We have this one.
Yeah.
Let's say in database we have update. So if you want to update, so let's say you have a list of if you don't want to do the duplicate one, what you can do is you can first select the data from select query, and you can check. You will be having the payload of elements, right? What are the elements there? So you can check whether that is coming from database. If at all it is coming, just ignore that from the list and then update it or then insert it. You can do in that way.
Okay, so using the choice also.
Yeah, you can use choice, or if you want to reduce the complexity, you can use if else in transform message also.
Okay, okay. Just today you show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay then. So I think today we'll not have classes then, right? Since they are not available. Let's take tomorrow itself then. Let's continue tomorrow. We'll see resume building, and let's first start for interview questions, and then let's see resume building. I will give you one sample resume. Based on that you can modify it, and we can see how we can explain our projects. Okay.
Okay, Kirti, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kirti.
Thank you.